Hello everyone, this is Barbecue Boy. I hope you guys are having a good day. That's my second video of the day. I'm just going to kind of try to roll a couple out since I've been gone for a while. I picked this up at Blade Show. This is a Calavera Cutlery El Patron, the 3 1/4 inch blade size, which some people refer to it as the small El Patron. I had the large El Patron in a Starfire Damascus. Really enjoyed the knife. I don't know, was a little large for me. So I decided to sell it and went to Blade this year and saw Jeremy, spoke with him for a little while. He's a great guy. I definitely would buy another knife from the guy. Support someone who is as nice as he is and good at what he does at his trade. I have no problems with supporting him. His books, I believe his books are closed now. And rightfully so. He makes some great stuff. So I thought I'd do a little review on this. Well, this here is bronzed. At first I couldn't really tell it was bronze because some of the bronze knives I've seen are more or less gold. But when you see this next to a regular type knife, you can tell it's bronzed. I'll be damned if I can't tell the difference in person actually between this and the Sebenza. It's a little bit of a difference. Not much. But in comparison to his knives, the El Patron knives, you can definitely tell there's a little bit of a bronze finish on it. The finish is holding up, it's okay. It's not really, I mean, you can see there, I got all this probably within the first 3 days of pocket carry. It does wear easy. But I'm not really a stickler for wear on handle scales. I think it looks kind of cool. It gives it my kind of personal touch and personality. I'm full of personality. So, let me get back to this knife. This has the 3V. I almost bought the S90V, but I chose not to get it due to the fact that S90 is a good bit harder to sharpen, and I've recently just kind of honed in on my sharpening skills, no pun intended, and I wasn't very confident in trying to maintain a knife where my sharpening ability is subpar, but I believe right now I'm on par with sharpening. I'm not above par, I'm not there yet, I don't do it enough, but I recently just decided to jump back into the sharpening game on my Wicked Edge. On my Sebenza 25, I was very determined. A friend of mine who loves to sharpen on his Wicked Edge gave me some more advice that he gave me 3 months ago. I guess I just wasn't listening then. I wasn't really interested. My heart wasn't in it. But I said, you know what, the hell with it. Today I'm doing it. I did it. I was very happy. I did a nice even edge. I didn't polish the edge on the 25. I kept it kind of rough and toothy. I feel that the Sebenzas do better when they're a little slightly toothy. And they hold the edge slightly longer when they're toothy. So, if I would have known then what I know now, I probably would have bought the S90V. But the 3V, as everyone knows, is incredible. So, I didn't lose out. I still won because I had the knife. And this knife, I was trying to decide between a modified type Wharncliffe or just a simple drop point here. I said, you know, I want to get the drop point. I don't know why. For me, it's more of a all-around user-friendly knife for my needs. And also was trying to decide between this here with these fullers, if you want to call it that, versus a plain scaled. I said, you know what, the fullers actually in person versus the photos that I've seen look incredible. They look pretty sharp, and it adds a little bit of traction, I guess you could say. I mean I could feel it. If I had a reverse grip, which I don't ever have a need to do, you can feel that texture there. So, before I go any further, let me hit on Jeremy as a person a little bit more. One night I was going to take this apart, and I got my Weeaw tool to take out this back screw. I got distracted by, I believe, my son, who's actually over here in the garage tinkering around. I don't know, I guess I didn't have the driver in there enough, and it tore the screw up. I called Jeremy up or emailed him, said, hey, you know, I'd love to buy a replacement screw from you. He called me about 2 days later because he is a very busy guy trying to fulfill orders. And said, hey, you know what? I'll send it to you, no big deal. He remembered me from Blade. I said, okay, I appreciate it. Let me know what I owe you for shipping and for the screws. He says, don't worry about it. He says, appreciate you doing business with me. I was like, wow, okay. So he sent me screws. About 2 days later, I had new screws, put them in there. Knife looks brand new again on the screw. So that's just a small testament of the kind of quality customer service he represents. And from the first large El Patron, one thing I have noticed is he really has improved on his fit and finish skills as well. The pivot, there's no chatter around the pivot at all. There wasn't any on the other one, but it wasn't perfect. It wasn't lined up just right. This one, everything about this knife, I have studied this thing extensively, and I can't really find any flaws on fit and finish. One thing I did notice when I got it was this. If you listen real closely, hear that rattle? I eventually pinpointed it to be in this blade stop pin, and I called him up. He says, "Yeah, keep it loose to kind of help, you know, a little bit of help with the wear here." I was like, "Oh, okay, no big deal." He says, "Put some Loctite in there if it bothers you." I'm like, "No, it don't bother me. I was just kind of curious." So you'll see that actually there's a 3V marking in the blade tang. So it is a little heavier. I didn't bring my scale out to weigh it. It is heavier. It is thicker. It weighs a good bit more than this large Sabenza. I'll do a little comparison with that in a second. This grind is a full convex, and I've stropped a good many blades. You know, I'm pretty decent at stropping, but I cannot get a freaking edge on this knife. Trying to keep that convex. I can get one side pretty sharp to shave hair, but the other side I can't do it. I believe this is the side that won't shave. And I love it, by the way. I love this new modified Spyderco hole, I guess you could say. It really is nice if you're wearing gloves to get your thumb in there. The only negative to this knife that I had when I first got it, and I'm a pretty picky person, it was very tight. It was not a pleasure to open and close. It really wasn't. I hated it at first. Took it apart, took the washers off, and laid the washers flat on my strop using, I think I did just a couple strokes on black compound on my leather strop. Rotated it. If you watch Jay Davis's YouTube video on doing that with his Sabenza, you'll kind of see where I'm going with that. I was very close. I probably did this type of polishing the washers 6 times because I didn't want to take too much material off. I just did a little bit here, put it back, cleaned it, put the knife back together, lubed it, and used it for a day, 2. I said, it's not good enough yet. Took the knife apart again, stropped the washers using the black and then the green to where they are a high luster finish. Now the knife is so smooth. I mean, there's no effort to open out there. I mean, it still needs a broke. I still could do it more, but it's so smooth doing it like this. I don't want to mess with it more. And it drops freely slightly. If I shake it, it'll drop freely. I'll let the break-in period do the rest. But it's 90% better than what it was before. So, if you're able to pick up any of his newer stuff, I definitely would. Look at that jumping. It looks great. I don't know how effective it is. I mean, it does get you a little bit of traction in there. It looks great, though. But back to the blade, I think I might try to lay on the wicked edge and put a 20-degree angle on both sides to be 40 inclusive. I'm not sure about that. If any of you sharpening guys see this, kind of give me your 2 cents on what you think. So there's the Jeremy Robertson, and before I go, I'll give a couple shots of it with next to my new large carbon fiber inlaid Encingo. The size comparison. There's the handle. I'm not far enough away from the camera. Pivot to pivot, the Sabins is longer. Pivot to pivot, the Nsinga is a little longer. Whereas the Sabinza is actually close to, well actually no, that's right. If you do cutting edge, yep, dang gum. I think the Nsinga is actually slightly larger than the Sabinza. I'll have to check that out. But thanks for watching my video, and please leave me some comments. If you have any questions, let me know. I'll do the best I can to answer them. Have a good one.